Everybody, welcome to another episode of the Firefighters Chalkboard. This is your host, Uncle Wayne, and today I have got Mr. Mustache himself on the podcast. We have got Griffin from Stache Salt. Griffin, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I appreciate you having me. Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, thank you for coming on. This is going to be great because we get to talk about you, your ministry, your business, everything you got going on, and a wonderful product that I throw a bone to every time we do the podcast, Stache Salt. Guys, if you've got a mustache, it needs some salt in it. Let me tell you, get a hold of Griffin, get you some Stache Salt. It will help it look wonderful. And the guys that have to stay clean shaved, he's got everything in the world you need as far as shaving products, grooming products. He can take care of you. And we're gonna dig deep into that in a little bit. But once again, this thing is brought to you by Stache Salt. Uh, so let's we're gonna start off with let's go a little different route. Let's start with Stache Salt, and then and then we'll circle back into how you started with the fire service and everything. So, I mean, because you got a great product, I believe in it deeply. I believe in the ministry it's got going on with it as well. So let's go ahead and start with that.
Yeah. So Stache Salt, grooming company, obviously, mustache wax, all the shaving, hair, beard, everything. But it started out as just mustache wax. And I like to say that it was a mad scientist experiment gone well. Um, a friend actually had another tin of a different company that was just floating around at a training we were at, and it kind of got brought up, hey, you should just try to make your own. So got home from the training, did a little mad scientist research, and just made a few blends and tweaked with them here and there. And here we are 8 years later, slinging mustache wax all over the world, all over the country. And yeah, it's been an awesome ride so far. Yeah, it kind of evolved from just mustache wax to the full line of all the men's grooming stuff, like we said. So we know not everybody has a mustache. Nobody's perfect, right? So we got to take care of all the brothers.
I like it. So, all right. So, personal preference. Which one is your favorite?
So I would say my daily go-to, I have really just happened to grab one while I was here, is smooth bore.
Or
Um,
yeah.
so the original two that I made were old fashioned and leatherhead, a soft hold and a medium hold. And I knew we needed something stronger. So it took quite a bit of trial and error, actually. But what we came up with was smoothbore, and this has been the tried and true most popular wax we've had for the past 8 years. It's like the perfect amount of sticky, where if you want a lot of hold, it'll give it to you. If you want that more natural, relaxed look, it'll do that too. So super versatile. That's usually my go-to. So I never make it through a full tin though, because everywhere I go, someone, hey, what are you using, or what's Stache Salt? So I end up just giving them my tin with one or two pinches out of it. So someone always gets a free tin everywhere I go.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. And they probably
Yeah,
end up getting a guitar pick out of it too.
yeah, yeah. Always got picks and stickers with me. So
Hey, there's no better way to market than to put it on them right then and show them how good it works.
yeah.
So, favorite smell out of your waxes? Because I mean, that's a big thing too with a lot of guys. I mean, it's going to be up here all day long. I'm going to smell it. So, what do you think is the most favorite, aroma for it?
It's hard to pick just one because we do seasonal blends, or we do like a monthly blend, and we're always coming out with a new scent and a new hold. Maybe my all the time available wax favorite scent, I think would probably be Breach. Um, it's a mix of fire amber and sweet tobacco, so
Ah,
it's a pretty
yeah,
good one. So
that would be one I'd be interested. I don't have to reach. Have to take a note on that one. All right. So we got the Stache Salt. We understand how it works and everything. It come from a mad scientist experiment gone good. But how good was it with the mess that was made inside the house learning how to do this stuff to start off with? Because I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah, it used to take up the whole kitchen when I was first figuring this out, and I would just kind of mess around all day, leave a mess, and then shove it all back in a yellow bin in the closet, and it would just disappear for a few days. But yeah, it's evolved from a yellow bin with some beakers and glass bowls and double boiling equipment to now we have the stash lab, which is all set up. Um, yeah, we got all the melters. We've got its own dedicated space, so we've got everything. Keep it nice and clean and out of sight, out of mind. So
But the big thing is humble beginnings and never forgetting it. I mean, you've
yeah,
grown from nothing to what you're doing now.
yeah,
And one thing I want to really reach out to, because something that whenever I was starting to follow you on social media and things like that, is one of the first things that caught my attention was your Bible ministry.
yeah,
And then the first thing I was actually compelled, reached out. How can I help? What do you need help with? Because that's something I used to do, before I went to being a training guy full time, on a Monday through Friday schedule. When I was on shift work, I was a taxidermist by trade, and
okay,
every couple, like twice a year, we would go to the taxidermy conferences and stuff, and they would have a missionary thing there. And every year, I would stop and I would take a case or two of Bibles to them because they handed out free Bibles, and that was one way of me trying to help. And I haven't done that in years since I have in the last couple of years. I haven't been doing any taxidermy work, and then I noticed you had yours, and I really wanted to reach out. So I'd love it if you told everybody about your Bible ministry because that's something that's not heard of that much anymore.
yeah. Um, so our motto for Stash Salt has always been "Spread the salt." Um, our verse that we, I guess, base a lot off of or try to live up to is Matthew 5:13. You're the salt and light. All that kinds of things. But very early on, I guess before we even went down that road of kind of using Stash Salt for ministry, our motto was always "Spread the salt." So it was kind of a double meaning of like, "Hey, Stash Salt, we're spreading the mission, spreading the meaning of all that." But it's definitely evolved into, "Hey, we're the salt and light. We're supposed to reach people with the gospel." Um, the light being what people can see, and the salt kind of being like with our words, right? Like what people hear and with what people see, the salt and light. Um, so yeah, we started slowly putting Bible verses out there, or I would pray for people on Stash Salt, um, and we really wanted to dedicate Stash Salt to the Lord and just say, "Hey God, like you gave us this tool. We want it to be however you want to see it be used." So we kind of surrendered our ownership of it, if that makes sense. Saying,
Hmm.
"Yes, God, like you gave us this. We're the stewards of it, but this is yours. This is your tool. So however you want to use it." He gave us this reach and this platform and this opportunity to meet and talk with so many people, to travel all over. Um, and that was just a super tangible way for us to get the word in people's hands. So it was something. I'll give credit to my wife, actually. It was her idea that we had talked about a few times, and she brought it up. And hey, I really think that we should do this. And we talked about it, prayed about it. And we were kind of, all right, how are we going to do this, right? If you don't know, Bibles are expensive. And it was just like, hey, we want to do this, but we're really not sure how it's going to happen. And it was right after Charlie Kirk, actually, that we were like, there were so many people seeking and so many people hurting and so many people open to hearing the truth and the word that we're like, we're just going to go for it and see what happens. So we put it out there. hey, anyone that needs a Bible, we're going to send you one. And in a super humbling and overwhelming response, the response was huge. So many people wanted Bibles. And to be honest, we were kind of like, oh man, what did we sign up for? What did we just agree to? Um, the need is huge, right? And we just decided, you know what? Um, I think a lot of people, when they get into like a giving situation or some sort of giving back or whatever it may be, they get overwhelmed with well, that company is doing that and I want to be at that level. Or this person's giving $1 million and like, I wish we could do that. Um, but just like the story in the Bible of the fishes and loaves, right? It doesn't take
Mm.
a lot. It takes the willingness to be able to do it. And God's really come alongside us and made it happen where it's like, hey, we're able to ship these out and keep them going to people. And like we've had a give a Bible option on the website. If people want to get a free Bible, they can. If someone wants to help give one to someone else, we have that as option too. So it's been super awesome so far. Yeah, we've shipped out hundreds of Bibles so far. We got a couple more boxes right here ready to go out. So yeah, it's been a super awesome way just to get the word in people's hands.
That is great. And I love the fact that you made a point to let everybody know if they go to the website, you can request a Bible or you can click on to be able to help keep keep your ministry moving forward, help keep the word going to other people. That is great. Um,
Yeah,
I didn't know, I didn't even know that. I just reached out to you and said, "Where can I send a case?" Got to
yeah,
do it that way. Um,
yeah, which was awesome.
but
Thank you. So
oh, you're welcome. Just get ready because there's more coming. I'm actually I've reached out to a couple of people I know around here, and we're going to try to see if we can do a part to help you kind of get stocked up for 2026.
awesome. Well, we appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely. So let's talk now, since we got that out of the way, because I really wanted to hit that first. Let's talk about you in the fire service. Where did it start? How did you find your love for the job? Everything else, because you've got a story, and I won't dig too deep into it, but you keep throwing little hints of it every so often. But I'd really love for you to dig deep and kind of give everybody the story, reel them in.
Yeah. So my, I guess, start to the fire service or passion or just how I got into it. I kind of say my answer is like the typical interview answer, like, why did you want to be in the fire service, right? Um,
I want to help people.
yeah. So my parents were in a very bad wreck when I was a young kid. Um, and prior to that, my dad was all PD. So all his friends were police officers. That's the route he was going down. We went shooting all the time. Everything that he loved was tactical and police and that whole side. All his friends, so all the older guys I grew up around were all officers, and they ended up being in that wreck. They were pinned upside down. They got hit by a drunk driver in an intersection. My dad, he was super messed up, but he said, and like I said, all he ever knew was the police side of things. Um, and this is a long, long time ago before we had battery tools for everything, right? But he said he was hanging upside down in his car, um, trapped in and out of consciousness. But he said he heard the rescue tools start back when you had the power plant, right? He said he heard that start. And at that moment, he knew there was hope. So he told me that story growing up. Um, and that always just stuck out with me of like, well, I want to be that hope for someone on their worst day when there's no other option or no other way out, that there's someone coming. And that really stuck with me as a kid of like, man, I just want to be that hope for somebody. So fast forward a few years, typical high school kid, went down a dark path for a while, started partying, hanging out with, doing all the things, right? I ended up going to school to build off-road race trucks. I was super into Baja racing, off-road racing, trophy trucks, buggies, all that stuff. So I went to school to learn how to build all those, building chassis, suspension, all that kinds of stuff, and ended up doing that for a few years and kind of forgot about fire, to be honest. I was kind of like, man, I'm doing some cool stuff, building race trucks, going to all the races. This is cool. I'm on a race team. Um, and then I was talking with my brother one day, and it was kind of just, do you think that's what you're going to do forever? And I hadn't really thought about it because I was just, I'm got a good thing going. I'm doing cool stuff. And I don't even know how it came up, but we were talking. He's like, well, what about a firefighter? And it was just like, boom, like a switch flipped in my head of like, oh yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do. Um, and it was literally like overnight, I was like, I'm in, I'm all in. Like, I want to do this. So looked up local fire academies, EMT school, um, started volunteering with a local department when we were still in Texas. I started volunteering and then I put myself through EMT school, put myself through fire school, and then just started testing. I was testing everywhere I could, all while volunteering. I ended up leaving the off-road industry, and I was actually working for a private EMS company while I was volunteering, just trying to get in, just trying to get my foot in the door. Um, did that, and it took me a few years of testing everywhere before I finally got on. Um, got on and just couldn't get enough. I was just in love with it, and I ended up working at my first department for about 5 years. Ended up switching, going to the big city, which was kind of the destination department in Texas. Lots of fire, no ambulance. Life was good. Um, and I just couldn't get enough. During that is when we started Stache Salt. Within, I don't know, within those first 4 or 5 years, I don't know, 3 years, I don't remember exactly. And it kind of just was a natural, uh, they went together. Stache Salt and the fire service just went together. It's not a fire company, but it's for the fire guys. I mean, obviously, we have customers in every industry. It's not just for firefighters, obviously, but it was kind of a way for us to be involved more than just shift, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's been super cool through Stache Salt. We've been able to travel to a ton of conferences and trainings where now I'm an instructor for a couple cadres. So it's kind of a natural, um, they just go well together. So, yeah, it was something that I always knew from being very, very young, but I lost my way for a little bit. And then it was like as soon as I found, oh, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do, I was fully back in.
That is great. Because I mean, yeah, everything does kind of goes around, comes back full circle, everything else, and a lot of times we try to do things that we think we should be doing, and then it ends up the ones that are meant for the fire service always come back to the fire service. Something draws us to it. We love it. Everything else, and not only that, you got a little one just trying to follow some footsteps a little bit, wanting to play with you and stuff, right? Too.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, 'cause I caught that clip the other day, and it was awesome. When you had him on the door, working the door with you. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I spent the past couple days kind of refurbing that door and rebuilding it and getting it all squared away. We have an event this week, Stash Bash, down in St. George, Utah, which we're doing a forcible entry contest and a bunch of raffles for a brother down there that got hurt on the job. So Stash Bash is kind of like our big annual event that we go down there and we do some sort of fundraiser for it. But yeah, he saw me rebuilding this door for a few days and was asking as soon as it was done, can I get on it? Can I do it? Can I break it? Can I try? So like, yeah, buddy, let's do it. So let's get some reps in. So he loves it.
That is great, and it gives you guys something you can do together and spend time with each other, and and a lot of times in our line of work. Um, our family always comes first to us, but a lot of times we would wish to have more time and more time to, do things, relate with them, things like that. And that gives you a chance. Now, when we were pre-gaming, you were talking about, all the conferences you get to go to, like you're talking about, you're on a couple of different cadres helping. But let's talk about the hydration station.
Yeah.
Because, you
Um,
said that brings the whole family aspect into the conferences with you.
yeah. So I think, and this isn't across the board, but I think for a long time in the fire service, it was very family oriented, right? Family dinners at the station. Hey, families come hang out at the station. And I'm not saying everywhere, but it seemed like for a little while that kind of trickled off, where it was like I have my fire family and then I have my at home family, right? And I think
Mhm.
there was kind of a separation for a lot of people. Um, but we preach that in the fire service: family first, family, family, family. So we wanted to be very, very intentional about it's one family, right? I have my family, and that includes both sides. So as Stache Salt's been growing, as we've had more opportunities to travel around, we were very intentional about, hey, I want my wife involved. I want her to come out and see what we're doing, see why it's important, see why I'm so passionate about this. But I also want my kids involved. I don't want them to just be like, all right, dad's always gone doing all these things. We don't know or understand what he's doing. Um, so it was actually my wife's idea again of, hey, let's like, can we do this? Is this something that's even possible? Like, when you go to these conferences, do they have food for you guys? Is there drinks? Is there anything? And I've been to a lot of conferences where it's like, well, there's cases of water, right? Which is fine. Bring your own lunch kind of thing. But we started talking and brainstorming about it, and we came to the conclusion of like, hey, we need this for the guys. So what we do, like you said, we call it the hydration station. My wife is the unofficial snack mom of the fire service. So we go to these conferences and basically we set up our full booth and we set it up with snacks and drinks and coffee, waters. If people need a place to charge their phone, which is a thing now, right? We just have a spot for
Mhm.
people to come gather during the day, kind of rehydrate, refuel, get some downtime in between reps or stations or whatever it may be. Um, Fire department coffee has been super awesome with us doing this because every time we go to a conference, hey, we're going here. Hey, we're going to send you a bunch of coffee. So we bought some
That
coffee
is all.
makers and they send us coffee and we just keep the coffee brewing all day for all the guys and hand out snacks and whatever else they might need. So yeah, it's just a cool way for the family to come out and be a part of what we're doing. Um, and it's kind of cool to see now some other kids and families showing up. We'll see the kids running around the training grounds. Obviously, they're not getting in the way of everything, but they're just fascinated with all the fire and people forcing doors and cutting cars or whatever it may be, right? So it's just a cool way for them to be involved. And then a spot for the wives or girlfriends or whoever's coming just to have a spot and they can get to know each other. So it's just been super awesome. A way to reintegrate that family portion.
I really like that. I like the fact that it is becoming to where the wives have a chance to start, congregating with each other, building relationships with each other. The kids have somewhere to be. Is truly what you're talking about is what you said, bringing the family back into everything that's going. And a lot of times that gives the guys that are going to the training an easier way for them to go. They might not feel so bad about going to a training on the weekend or something if they know they can have their wives and their kids and everything with them, and they can get a couple reps in and do some good drills, and their wives are either, they're not stuck in a hotel room or something waiting on them to get back. There's stuff for them to do. That is awesome. I really like that a lot. And
Yeah.
it
Well,
makes it to where
no, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say we had a lot of guys for a long time that were like, man, that's so cool. Like my wife would never come to something like this, or my girlfriend would never come. or like she gets mad when I go, and I would just ask like, "Well, have you invited her?" And it was always, "Oh, well, no." It's like, "Well, maybe just try inviting her and see what she says. Like maybe that'll change everything for you. Maybe it won't, but it could." So, like
Yeah.
you don't know if you don't ask.
I know, like with the conference we have here, um, our yearly conferences at the, in Myrtle Beach, and a lot of times the wives don't have a problem with the conference stuff because they got every shopping mall in the world on the eastern seaboard. Where all of them just kind of they team up together and see just how much shopping they can do in a 4 day period. So
Yeah,
go do your fire training. We're going shopping.
yeah,
But everywhere doesn't have that. So, but it gives them a chance to build that community in between the spouses and everything else. That's great.
yeah. It's been awesome.
So let's circle back and let's talk about the one you got coming up. The one you do, was it
Stash
the
bash.
conference, Stash Bash. You guys are doing that fundraiser for that, trying to help out a brother and everything. Um, let's dig a little deeper if that we can, and see if we can find a way for some people to be able to send some stuff that way to help. If
Yeah,
there's a way they can kind of click on something and help them out, and
yeah. Um, so it started out the first year when we moved to Utah. It's called Winter Fire School, which is basically the only thing that Utah has as far as like extra training throughout the year, right? You get your department training. If you want to travel to other places, you can. But Utah, the big shindig of the year is called Winter Fire School. It's every January in St. George. And we got to Utah, and I was kind of asking, like, hey, is there anything going on after the trainings? And it was kind of just a every man for himself kind of deal. We have the whole state gathered in one place, and there's nothing for them to do once training's over. Um, so we found a place down there called Station 2 Brewery. It's an old St. George fire station that they converted into a bar and restaurant. So we reached out to them and said, hey, here's what we'd like to do. We'd like to host an event during Winter Fire School, just a place for all the guys to come hang out. And so what we did is we brought a forcible entry door to the event. They gave us the whole patio. We started doing a few raffles, just of our stuff at first, and we would hold a forcible entry contest. And there's usually some sort of grand prize. Like this year, we've had some leather guys make a custom shield that says fastest force on it, so they'll win that prize. There's going to be raffles of tools and hats and coffee mugs and grilling stuff and all sorts of cool things from other companies, hats, shirts, stickers, all that stuff that we're going to end up raffling off. There was a Southern Utah brother. He works for St. George and for Washington City. He got hurt a few years ago and has been slowly declining to the point now where he's off the job, and just trying to figure out, how it is working with cities and municipalities, getting benefits and stuff covered and all that, and they're just having a hard time. So we had someone reach out and say, "Hey, is this something that we could benefit with Stache Salt?" And we just said, "Absolutely." So the fastest force money, or like it's going to be $5 per force if you want to try to force the door for the fastest time, all the raffles and all that, and that's all going to go to the family after the event. Just a way for us to donate and just come alongside someone. Again, spread the salt and just give back where we can. So yeah, if anyone wants to send stuff, that's awesome. We have a bunch of raffle prizes, but obviously the more the merrier. So if you guys have anything that you want to send, that would be great. But yeah, we're gonna have a couple tables worth of raffle prizes and donations and all that stuff while we're down there. So it's gonna be super cool.
okay, do you guys have and I might be jumping ahead, but do you have like a GoFundMe link for this for the guy to help him and his family, or do y'all have any way where if somebody can't send something, they can click and send a monetary donation or something to help?
Yeah, I can send that to you if you want to put it
Okay.
with the video. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
for the Fackrell family, so I can send you that GoFundMe if people just want to donate directly to them. That would be incredible. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah, I can get you that information for sure.
Yeah, no, I'll add it onto this, and we'll try to see if we can't get this, get him some of all the help they can.
Yeah, awesome.
So, Bears at the Oath is coming up, and
Yep.
I know you're super excited about Bears at the Oath.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that because I've never been. I really want to go, but this year the cards aren't in my table. I'm on standby waiting to go meet the grandbaby. So I I'm not getting to venture out a whole lot.
Yeah.
But
Hey, that's important. That's important.
oh yeah, well I mean there's a lot of people that don't know about the Bears. I mean, so
Y-
if you could read and give us a rundown what it means to you, what the things you like about it, because you have a lot to do. I mean, you got your hydration station stuff set up there and everything else, and it looks like a great time.
Yeah. Um, it's an incredible conference. So Shane reached out to me before last year's conference, a couple months before it started. Said, "Hey man, we have this conference coming up. We're gonna have lecture days. We're gonna have hot days. We'd love for you guys to come set up the table." And then he asked if I would speak one of the nights after training, and I was all in. So we loaded up the family, we loaded up the dog, we loaded up the hydration station, and drove from Utah to Georgia. It was awesome. But yeah, it was a week long conference, and I like to say it was a faith conference disguised as a fire conference. Um, Not in an intimidating, if you don't know Jesus, you're not welcome here kind of way. But it was just really hammering the message of why we do this job is to serve people, to point them to the cross, and all while doing awesome firefighter things, right? Like some of the best fire training burns we've been in, some of the best props we've got to use. And I was fortunate enough to be able to train with those guys and instruct and share the things that I'm passionate about: forcible entry, search, ladders, all that kinds of stuff. Um, yeah, and they just invited us into the Bearers family. It's one of the greatest groups of guys I know. Just overall there for each other all year long, just trying to truly spread the message of Jesus and building the fire service, leave it better than they found it. So it's been super awesome to be a part of. We're super grateful that they invited us back this year. But yeah, we're going back in February. We're going to set up the booth. We're going to train. We're going to instruct. We're going to work hard. So I'm excited for it.
That is awesome. And there's so much going on. February is really big around the southeast where we are. There's a lot of stuff going on because we've got um, our low country, Charleston Metro Fools are doing their low country conference. You've got Bears at the Oath going happening in February. Um, we got a new one that's popped up in the upstate of South Carolina that's going on. Um, the springtime's bumping because MAFC's coming up, and I think it's going to be in April. Um, so there's all kinds of stuff going on. The Escape is going to be in West Virginia. Escape Pipeline, that's going to be in the very end of February. So I mean, it's about time for everything to start humping around. And I've never had the opportunity to go to Bears of the Oath, but I'm really hoping that next year I'll actually have a chance to go and actually be a part of that because everything I've seen about it's been amazing. And if you can blend faith with firefighting at the same time, it can't get any better.
Yeah, it's super awesome. So I'm super grateful to be a part of it. It's been awesome. But yeah, it's just about conference season all over. So we're
Mm-hmm.
I also teach with Ambassadors of the Craft, which is kind of this region. We have a bunch of Idaho guys, a couple of Utah guys, some California guys, and we'll be up at March Mayhem in Boise in March. So doing
Yep.
the same thing, setting up the hydration station, instructing all that, and then, like you said, we'll be back out there for MAFC as well. So
Okay.
yeah, so we've
I'm
gone out there the
hoping
past couple of
to,
years. So
yeah, I'm hoping to get back. I was at MAFC last year. I'm hoping I get to go back again this year. I really enjoyed myself there. It was a really great outfit, a bunch of super good guys.
yeah, yeah. So we're excited to make the trip again.
So how long of a drive is that?
I think it's just about 24 hours from Utah
Okay.
to Georgia. So we make a road trip out of it for sure. At least for Bears, we're driving. Mafsy will be flying, but
Um,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, because uh, I've made it back and forth from South Carolina to Oklahoma before, and that's 19 hours as hard as you can go. Uh,
yeah.
but I couldn't 24. That'd be whew. All right. So what else have you got going on in the works?
We always have new blends coming out. Um, so what we do is we have what we call the Salty Stache Crew subscription box, which what we do is we release a new wax every single month, um, with whatever the theme of the month is, right? Like this month we released the wax called Backup, which was
Hmm.
more PD themed, for law enforcement appreciation at the beginning of January. February we'll have one coming up for Valentine's Day. So we've got a bunch of stuff coming. It's always something new every single month, a new wax, a new oil, either a wash or a body wash or a bar of soap or whatever it is. We have new stickers all the time. So yeah, if you never want to miss a limited edition blend, join the Salty Stash crew.
There you go. Because you can't never have enough stickers either. I mean, if that's one thing firemen do, they love their stickers. We'll put them on everything there is around.
Yeah,
My
everything
wife's
I
like,
have is everything I have is covered in stickers. So
oh yeah, it is. Hey, look at
yeah,
that one.
that's been a popular one. This mustache is
I
not NFPA approved.
now see, and I like the one from Christmas too.
Yeah,
I like the this is a new cup. It hadn't got started yet. My water bottle. Yeah, I don't think you ever know what color it originally was. Um,
yeah,
okay, so let's dig deep a little bit because you're with a cadre. You're doing instructing and stuff at a lot of different places. And I ask this to a lot of people. What does it truly mean to you to be an instructor?
yeah. No, I like that question. I I've been very, very fortunate to be surrounded by a lot of very passionate people since I was very young in the fire service. Um, I remember, like I talked about, when I first started volunteering, one of my captains there was also a training captain for a full-time department in the area, and he was just probably one of the most passionate guys that I've ever met. Um, and it always just stuck out to me about, like, hey, it's not about you, it's about making other people better, right?
Yeah.
And that, just the way he talked, the way he taught us, the way he instructed, we were fortunate to go to some trainings with his other department and just see how he interacted with them and truly tried to build them up. It's not the old fire academy of, you mess something up, you're doing 50 burpees and running 20 towers just because you messed up, right? Like, that has a place, right? Like, that has a place, it has a purpose for driving some things home. Um, but I don't like the punishment method of teaching, if that makes sense. Um,
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think
Yeah.
I think once you kind of really grasp why we're here, and the whole reason that this job exists is the service of others, right? So
Yes.
that doesn't start when the tones go off. That starts way before, preparing the people for when the tones go off, or for when they're going home and struggling with something, or when they're having a hard time at the station, whatever it may be. I think a lot of it comes down to is just caring about people. And
Hmm.
when you care about people, you want to see them do well. You want to set them up for success. It doesn't matter that they say they learned something from me or not. I'd rather them not say my name, you know. I'd rather just say, "Hey, look at this cool thing I learned. Now I want to go show someone else that way too." Right? Um, so to
The
be an
salt.
instructor, yeah, to be an instructor, I think is really humbling. Um,
Hmm.
because a lot of these conferences cost a lot of money, right? They cost a lot of money. They cost a lot of time. People don't go out there for you to show them how cool you are. It's not about you. They come out there because they're trying to better themselves for their department, for their citizens. And I just think that's an awesome responsibility of, hey, they trusted me enough this weekend to come out and learn something new. Maybe they like it, maybe they agree, maybe it doesn't fit their SOPs, whatever. But the whole idea of this job is we all have a toolbox, right? And if you can add one more tool to your toolbox and you get in that situation where, oh, I remember that one thing I learned and it's applicable here, I think that's a win. So I
Yeah,
just think it's an incredibly humbling thing to even have the opportunity, in my opinion.
I couldn't agree more. One of the things you said earlier, I can relate with because it resonates out of my mouth all the time. Is and it might be a different way of looking at it, but a lot of times I tell people it's not my job to make you a fireman, and I'm a full time training guy.
Yeah,
It's not my job to make you a fireman. It's my job to make you a public servant. And how we serve the public is by being good firemen. And that doesn't mean I'm not going to teach you how to be a fireman, but the main mindset in your head, in your heart needs to be I'm that public servant. I'm going to be the best fireman I can be. I'm going to do the hardest, the most jam up job I can do by being a fireman, but I'm going to lean it more towards serving that person because they need my skill set right now to serve them.
yeah, yeah,
And you're exactly right. There's no greater honor than it is to be able to teach somebody. I
yeah,
mean, I come through the mentality, through the beginning of it where you done it because I told you to. You done whatever you had to do to just check the box and move on to the next thing. And then years later, I got involved with some people that were truly passionate about the job. They took the time to explain the why and why it was important and why we had to do this. It made it stick a lot easier. And it actually made the love grow. Everybody
yeah,
loves this job that's in this job. If you don't love it, you're not going to be here. That's all there is to it. Because we sure don't do it for the money. We do it for the love of our people we work with every day. The ability to serve the public and do something and help people truly. And it's just like you say about spreading the salt. When we're teaching, we have the ability to spread that knowledge out somewhere else. Because one day we're not going to be here anymore. But the lessons we taught will.
yeah, yeah, yeah. About I've been it's a saying that's really been sticking out to me lately, and I know we've all heard it, but to leave it better than you found it, right? Like we've
Oh
all
yeah.
heard that, and it's a thing, right? But really, that's been standing out to me a lot lately. Of hey, I'm not going to be in this forever. There's going to be people that as soon as I get my gear off the rig for the last time, someone's going to fill that seat, right? But if you can just plant seeds or maybe pour into somebody that then pours into 20 more people, it's not about me. It's about, hey, we're trusted to do this, so let's do it well.
Absolutely. Yeah, you've got it. I was having a similar conversation a couple weeks back, and with Steph White, and she said, it's all about planting the seed of a tree. You'll never sit under the shade, but somebody will be able to enjoy the shade. So that's why it's worth planting that seed.
Yeah,
That really
absolutely.
stuck out to me when she was because I'm getting older. I live in the South. It's hot. Shade is important. Um,
Yeah,
So somebody had to plant that seed for us to have shade right now. So we need to return to favor later on.
yeah. I had another guy explain it a similar way, but he called it the cathedral effect. And what he said is, like, to build a cathedral is obviously a huge undertaking. It takes lots of years of planning. It takes a lot of people coming together, and the people that are working on it, at least at the start, are not going to be the ones that see it when it's finished. So you're actually building something that you're not actually going to benefit from or see the end product of, but you're just doing your little part of the building project for the benefit of others.
Yeah,
I thought that was a
I
cool
like
way to describe it.
yeah, I like that a lot because it's exactly right. There's a lot of work and planning and everything else that goes into something you'll never see, but others will benefit from.
Yeah,
And that's a very very selfless, way to do things because it's not about me. It's about we, or it's about them, and that's just doing what you're talking about is truly proving that.
yeah.
So we've got Bears at Oath coming up. So you're going to be there. You already said you're going to MAFC.
Yep.
Where else? Where else are you? Where else are you had planned out for 2026? So we can try to get some people to come up and say hello.
We're going to March Mayhem in Boise. Um, Shoot, I don't remember the dates off the top of my head. I think it's the 19th through 24th or something. I could be super wrong, but I don't know. Um, so we're going to have a couple lecture days up there and then a bunch of hot days. So March Mayhem, uh, the group I teach with, AOTC, Ambassadors of the Craft, we're putting on our Fundamentals of the First Do class. It used to be just Fundamentals of the First Do Nozzleman. That's what the class was called, but we've kind of revamped it, and it's now Fundamentals of the First Do, and we have an engine track or a truck track. So depending on where you'd like to hone your skills, if you're pulling lines and moving stairs and pushing hallways, whatever, stretching lines, all that, or if you're more on the truck side of forcing doors, throwing ladders, VES and windows, just search in general. So we kind of have both of those tracks, and then we bring it all together for, you have the engine or truck day, and then we bring it all together for live burn scenarios. Like, so if you are on the engine side, you're doing those scenarios, or if you're on the truck side, and everybody's working together on that next day, which is super awesome. So
I like that. You branch them out and then bring everything together, so you got a working product at the end and do it under live fire. That's pretty cool.
yeah, so it's a super cool class. We always get tons of great feedback. So yeah, we'll be at March Mayhem doing that. We'll be back at MAFC doing that. I'll be at FDIC. I'll be wandering around. I don't have a booth this year. We had a booth for a few years, but it's crazy expensive for us little guys that don't sell fire trucks and stuff like that. So we'll be there wandering around, just hanging out with everybody, saying what's up, just checking it out. And then our plan is to go to PNW later in the year. So that's another great conference. Yeah, we were able to go to that year before last, and that was another great one. So we got a busy year, that's for sure.
That is awesome. All right, so this is coming up. We're starting to roll around to the time to where we pull the chalkboard out, and when the chalkboard comes out, the chalk is yours. Write your message. So if you had a message to put out for everybody that's going to last forever, what would that message be, Griffin?
Oh man, my
Mhm.
message to the world. Um, Love Jesus, work hard, stay humble. I think I know at least those are some things that stick out to me. I think the most important thing that we can do on this earth is learn to love and trust Jesus, to give our lives to Him, to recognize what He did for us on the cross, to live in that grace. And then from there, whatever your calling in life may be, to do your best at it, to do it for Him, and to stay humble, knowing that it was Him that gave you that purpose and gifts and skills and all that. So, yeah, love Jesus, work hard, stay humble, spread the salt.
Here you go. I like. You get spread the salt. There is no better way to end it up like that. Everybody, thanks for joining in. This has, been a really great time. We've learned a lot of stuff about Stache Salt and what their mission is and what they're doing, and learned some stuff about Griffith. And if anybody's got any questions or they want to get in contact with you, how do they need to? What's the easiest way?
Anyone can send us an email on stashsalt.com anytime. If you want to reach out on social media, send a message to Stache Salt. If I don't get back to you right away, I apologize. I get about 10,000 messages a day. But send a message to Stache Salt. I do my best to keep up with them. If you want to reach out to me directly, it's that Stache guy or the Stache guy on Instagram. So the Stache guy. Find me on Facebook. Send me an email. If you want to chat on the phone, I can get you my number. I'm not some untouchable dude. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not someone that's too cool. I promise you, I'm not that cool. I just like getting in contact with people, right? People matter. That's why we do anything, right? So send me a message and let's chat.
All right. So, everybody, thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Firefighters Chalkboard. If you've got anything, reach out to Griffith. We're going to get the rest of those links and stuff sent out. So, if anybody's wanting to help out with his Bible ministry, you'll be able to do that. If you want to be able to help out with they're trying to help a brother in need, we'll get that information out as well. Just give him a look on Facebook for Stache Salt, or stashsalt.com is his website. And check us out. Hit that like button, follow button, anything. We're on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Give us a like. If you got anybody you want us to have on the show, reach out to us. Let us know. I'll hunt them down. It might take me a little while, but I'll do my best to get them. So until next time, this is Uncle Wayne staying safe. Stay safe. Keep learning. And we'll see you the next time somebody steps up to the chalkboard.